Hi, hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my blind playthrough of Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. This is episode number 6 being recorded on Saturday, September the 21st, 2024. I hope you're all having a fantastic day whenever it is you find yourself watching this. So, we find ourselves in the Shadow Keep, where we defeated the Golden Hippopotamus in the previous episode, and we are going to proceed, but not right away. First, I'm realizing now we should have done this off camera. We need to fix our gear, because I should send this back up. I'm realizing there's this little pond over here that we meant to check out in the previous episode, but we did not. This one here, number 3. So, before we proceed any further, let's go do that and just briefly make sure that we've not missed anything else in Scadu Altus. One thing I have certainly noticed is that there's a whole bunch of perfumers here. Did we just not see them last time? Shadow Sunflower, yeah, we didn't pick up that item, so presumably they were there, we just missed it. Yeah, more perfumers up here too, okay. I have noticed that the open world areas are not as replete with dungeons as they were in the main game. However, the dungeons themselves tend to be... Oh, that's very powerful. But the dungeons themselves seems to be more thought put into them. So that, in other words, they seem to have taken an approach that emphasizes quality over quantity in this one, in the DLC that is, which I appreciate because I think that's a better approach. Okay, I think this is not going to end well. In that it's going to get away. Gosh darn it. Okay, that was stupid. And then we're going to have to chase after it amidst all of these perfumers. Oh gosh darn it, where did it go? Did I just totally lose it? No, I can hear it. Okay, friends, enough of this. Just, granted, it's a brilliant strategy. Just create a perpetual wall of fire in front of yourselves and the hamster butterfly alien won't be able to murder you, but come on. Only one of us is the main character here, and it's not you. Perfumer Hood. Hood of an Erdtree capital perfumer. In times past, the role of perfumer was much respected, a blessed apothecary in the eyes of many. But after entering the battlefields of the Shattering, they performed no such role, trading their aromatics for poisons and explosives. So in other words, they were conscripted. That is a point I was going to make in my video essay, but I ended up leaving out when just trying to gather as much information about the Shattering as possible. You'll have to forgive me, I'm still sick. So I may have to turn away from the microphone and cough every now and then. If I remember to cut everything out, then you won't hear it, but if you do, then apologies, I may have missed it in editing. So the water's right over there, but it looks like there's some swamp water over here. I assume that's at the bottom of the cliff, though. Or pardon me, underneath us, in other words. Indeed. It's very vertical, and I suppose that's not unlike what we saw in the main game, but yeah, just extreme verticality. Which is obviously quite cool. I enjoy that. Dark Souls 1 was like the epitome of that sort of vertical level design, where the whole world was more or less stacked on top of itself. And I quite enjoyed that aspect of it. Sorry, Rune Bear friends. Oh my goodness. It's a massive Rune Bear with red hair. Oh, there's bears everywhere. Okay, I guess we don't really have much of a choice. Sorry, bear friend. Wow, they really are everywhere. Some shadow sunflowers. So the sunflowers are supposed to face the sun. They're facing the Scadu tree. I assume that's not an accident. And that later on, if we were to look out for that, we would also notice the other shadow sunflowers facing the Scadu tree. I assume this is going to be a boss fight. No, well I guess, oh yeah. Oh, that hurts. Hi, Ralva. Ouch. I wonder if this is meant to prepare you for the hippopotamus fight. Oh my goodness, that really hurt. Watch out for that. So the bear had horns, which again suggests sort of some contact with the crucible. Whew, pelt of Ralva. The pelt of Ralva, the great red bear, worn upon the head without modification, enhances incantations of what is jokingly called bear communion. That's not nice. This untreated hide, worn at the end of a bloody bout, is just the thing to make a wild bear out of a warrior. Yeah, it's not exactly Regret's look. Oh, I forgot about Dane's hat. I can't believe we did. I can't believe we didn't try it on until now. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, yeah, we found our new headpiece. Again, barely any defense, but since when has that dictated our choices? Oh, that's amazing. You know, Ralva could have used a lot of help there from his friends, but he didn't. So, I don't know if that means it's like a bear of honor or something, because yeah, anyways, red, as we learned previously, I believe, is the color of the crucible as well, so there is that, or at least it's associated with the crucible. Again, I don't know if that means anything necessarily, but just something I thought I would point out. Oh my goodness, you scared me, friend. I'm sorry. I'll leave you be. Yeah, I think that's more or less it for this. I'm sorry. I'll leave you be. Already murdered your leader, so I apologize. Okie dokie. You know, I think we've done everything. Oh my goodness, I deserve that. I'm such a moron. Okay, so we respawned here. First of all, I thought we already did this. I thought we already explored this, but evidently not, because there's a headless statue of Marika here and one of these Scadu tree fragments. But you know what, before we do anything else, there's 435,000 runes on my bloodstain, so let us equip one of those rune of sacrifice, whatever ring of sacrifice equivalent is. There's a cave here. What the heck? Okay. There's some perfumers in here worshipping what looks to be a minor Erdtree. That was dreadful. Okay, let's just I was going to say 2 can play the range game, but they have quite formidable defense against arrows somehow. I assume it's whatever shield they have up. Magic shield. Wow, that was close. Didn't expect Erdtree indeed. Heal from afar. An Erdtree incantation discovered in the realm of shadow. Fires a projectile towards distant allies that greatly restores HP on contact. That is a really cool idea. Even when far beyond, far out of sight, the Erdtree will surely give us its blessing. Okay, so this implies then that the realm of shadow is somehow physically connected to the lines between, because how else would you explain that? The fact that the Erdtree, a minor Erdtree, has taken root here. I don't know how else you would explain that. But yeah, very interesting stuff, I think. So it's a good thing that bear obliterated us, because... Why is it always poison? Oh, okay. Wow. It's a really good thing that bear obliterated us then, because I don't think we ever would have found this. Okay, but before we proceed... You know what? Whatever. We have that talisman on. I'm just really hoping for a sight of grace. Oh gosh darn it. There's got to be a sight of grace somewhere here. This is a terrible idea. It just keeps going. Is that where the map is? Doesn't look that way. Okay, there does not appear to be a sight of grace here, but I presume I would need to just keep going in order to find it. So yeah, you know what? Let's do it. An item shiny there. I mean, there can't not be a sight of grace, right? Like that's... Rauh Base. There it is. All right. Ancient Ruins Base. Yeah, so we're at the base of the Ancient Ruins, which we got a brief preview of earlier, and okay, the map is right there. The map is right there. I'm skipping over a bunch of content temporarily here. I know, I'm sorry. But I just want to see what the rest of the map looks like. Oh yeah, it is those same column friends. Let's run. There's a spirit spring. looks like it's blocked. So we'll need to find the corresponding spot nearby. Map, Rauh Ruins. Map of the ancient Rauh Ruins. These giant ruins are flooded, overgrown, and split into two by a chasm. To the southwest is the Church of the Bud, overlooking the Tower of Shadow. So I know that's probably, you know, a reference to, like, plants budding, but it sounds like it could also be a reference to cannabis. So, yeah, hence my giggle there. Oh, uh-oh. Something's aggroed onto us. Oh, it's that friend, okay. Hence my giggle. Okay. Oh gosh darn it. We need to go get our runes. This friend has to give up eventually. Thank you. Okay, let's go get our runes here. Okie dokie, I'm blown away that we finally got the map after all this time. It is pretty funny though, the accidental death. Like just the dumbest possible death I could have got in that situation, just ignoring the bear and being like, yeah, I'm sure the bear will de-aggro, it's fine, it's fine. And then getting knocked off the edge while looking at the map. Just the height of stupidity. And yet the game rewarded us for it, so it's, yeah, just goes to show. Never know what FromSoft has in store until a bear is knocking you off a cliff. Not going to take the bears lightly this time, obviously. Oh my gosh, I almost almost died there. There you are, my precious. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the site of grace and buy some things. I'll see you all in a second. Okay, I leveled up and purchased some upgrade materials. But I figured, yeah, I'm not just going to throw away my runes purchasing things. And hopefully I just don't lose them. Because yeah, I already have a fair number of upgrade materials, so... Oh, ghost friend. I thought I saw... There's a door on this side too. And you could see during the boss fight that there was a fog gate behind it, so... So it's a shortcut exit. I figured as much, but thought I would double check. It's a whole bunch of... I want to call these pikes. Well done. Seek fire. Ah, well done. Praise the Lord. Okay, item shiny up there. And ghost friend. Ooh, no! Such a thing is utterly inconceivable! We have not been abandoned! Messmer is the son of Queen Marika! Reveal! Her grace would never abandon her own flesh and blood! Okie dokie. Yeah, again, is that a reveal? Did we learn that already? I don't feel like we did. Son of Queen Marika, but to who else? Very interesting. And yes, Queen Marika has abandoned people before, shunned people before. I don't think that's, you know, that one ghost may be a surprise to that one ghost, but Moog and it looked like this friend was sitting on his axe for a second. For Moog and Morgan, that was, yeah, life. They got shunned underground. I'll take it. Festive Grease. It's just a void down there, because of course it is. Oh, thank you. I gotta say, Regret really is looking fabulous. Okay, there's another minor Erdtree here. This whole thing is very curious. Why is everyone just blankly staring into corners and stuff? Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the easy kills, but he's like, what was that about easy kills? What are you talking about? Yeah, I had to have fought one of my comrades. Alright. Some sort of sigil on that shield. And a flame on the left, and on the right is some sort of circular serpentine thing. There's flames on the bottom as well. And a snake wrapped around the spear in the middle. So, I gotta get used to. I keep trying to, when you are holding a weapon that you can block with, so if, say, yeah, we're two-handing and we can block with the weapon, then blocking exits you out of the monocular. So I have to, but when two-handing, obviously, that's what L1 does, so I need to get used to not pressing L1. The main gauche. Dagger with a large handguard, intended to be used in the left hand, thereby complementing a piercing sword or identical blade held in the right to enable a distinctive style of fighting. Okay, that's cool. Piercing sword or identical blade in the... Okay, so let's try that out. Because we did upgrade what was essentially an S-stock to take on that dragon a couple of weeks ago. Just need to find it now. Oh yeah, it was Roger's rapier. So let's put that on our right. And this other weapon in our left, if I can ever find it. I need to start putting some things in our box. Maybe we'll upgrade that at one point. So I always loved the idea of having a rapier with a parry on it. Namely because, you know, I like parrying things, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, all set. So we'd either go to those stairs or we could hop down into this courtyard area with this minor Erdtree. So pretty funny that, yeah, had we not accidentally stumbled upon that one area, then this would have been our reveal of the minor Erdtree. Oh, I'm so silly. That just goes right back to the same place. That would have been our reveal of the minor Erdtree. So we might as well go check out that courtyard and then we can climb up those stairs afterwards. In other words, yeah, this would have been the reveal that there are minor Erdtrees in the Shadow Realm as well. Now, they're not exclusive to the Lines Between. Okay, smithing stone level 8. Some commoners praying here to the Erdtree. Talisman of Lord's Bestowal. A talisman depicting Godfrey, first Elden Lord, receiving the precious sap. Increases poise after using a flask of tears. The Lord accepted the sap stoically, without any sign of wavering. No wonder Lord of the Erdtree casts a long shadow over the lands. Okay, not sure I understand that last line, but there's a description for the blessed bone shard again. Bone fragment touched by the gold of the Scadu tree, broken from the remains of the warriors who perished in the realm of shadow. A blessing such as this is said to be the greatest honor that can be granted to the dead. And yeah, there were a bunch of them around that other minor Erdtree as well, so something to keep in mind. Again, another person. I don't get it. What are they doing? Golden Vow. So those are consumables. Basically a consumable. Oh, I better wipe this person out quick. Basically a consumable spell. Oh, okay, I'm really enjoying this weapon combination. Why is it always dumb? Indeed. I was like, yeah, shut up. And then I saw what it actually was. I was like, okay. Okay, before we continue on, let's just make sure. Just realized that I'm not sure that we saw everything this courtyard had to offer, although it looks like we did. Or did we? No. Oh, yes, we did. Okay. Presumably we'll exit from some other place by dropping down from that cliff later on, but only one way to find out. Why am I struggling here? Which way is the front of the ladder? There we go. Oh dear. What are we going to do here? Okay, that works. Is this the top of the stairs from... Oh dear. Ouch. Oh no. Okay, that was really close. And indeed, that is where we entered that other room. So all these areas are connected. I want to draw the attention of the one that's patrolling so that I can isolate them from the great arrow friend. My goodness, that hurt. Alright, this is going to sound like a terrible excuse. And it kind of is, but as usual, Aurelia of Astora was napping in the other room, and I had her on the baby monitor in front of me, a little camera, where I keep my eye on her, and she started waking up. And so, Oh, we were still wearing the ring. That would allow us to not lose our runes. Ouch, we almost died again. Indeed, so let us re-equip the Lord of Blood's favor, if I can find it. There it is. Or, pardon me, exaltation. So, yeah. It's the following day, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. In case that wasn't clear by the fact that I sound even more sick now, because I'm even more sick, unfortunately. But, yeah, I had Aurelia of Astora on the camera. I noticed she was starting to wake up. So, I sort of lost attention just long enough where we were luring that one friend with the bow, and then I walked right off the edge. I think it was like right here, or maybe one level higher. So, yeah, like I said, it's going to sound like an excuse, and it pretty much is, but, you know, it is what it is. That was close. Yeah, not doing exceptionally well in this area, I will admit. That's with these friends basically murdering themselves for our benefit, so doesn't necessarily bode well, I don't think. Okay, that's what we wanted last time. So that was a much easier, more direct way of doing it. Just to lure the one friend away from the other. Although it looks like he might be chaining at the doorway, which is unfortunate. Okay, that works. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Oh, thought we could sidestep that. Oh, thank you for the heal, friends. Much appreciated. Wow. Failing with these backstabs. Once again. Yeah, this is, shouldn't be struggling this much, I don't think. But I suspect we may potentially, possibly... What are you shooting at? What is he shooting at? Is that Messmer's flame? But I thought you were on Messmer's side. Okay, we can summon in here, which is interesting. Oh, crud. Oh, I didn't think you'd be able to get us from that angle. Ouch. Get wrecked. That L2 special attack is quite good, I will say. Okay, we can finally chill for a second. So... Golden Vow. So we've already dealt with all the friends down in that little courtyard with the minor Erdtree. Shadow Realm Rune level 6. Okay, what's going on over here? So that's a cool effect. You can actually see these pikes. You can see them sort of a wave effect in front of them, consistent with what you would see if you were looking directly at a flame, or, you know, like a fire source and there was something above it. Or in front of it, I should say. Yeah, not articulating myself exceptionally well today. Okay, so this is that spot. Remember I mentioned, oh yeah, there's a spot where it looks like we're gonna have to go down into the courtyard. Sort of a shortcut exit, and this is that. So that was to get 5 smithing stone level 5s. Not sure that was totally worth it, but it is definitely a thing. So let's just head back up now, I suppose. Oh, crud. This is bad. This is bad. What was I thinking? Okay, I'm gonna just keep going and hopefully they forget about us. Oh, holy proof pickled liver. don't think there's anything new in that item description, is there? Animal liver pickled in a gold medicinal solution. Craftable item. Temporarily grants large boost to holy damage negation, greatly improving damage mitigation against attacks imbued with holiness. The effects of the forager's brood's pickled delights are enhanced by the fermentation or rotting of the ingredients. Though this results in a pungent odor, some come to find the aroma irresistible. Okay, we're very quickly running out of flasks here. So this is what I was talking about. Like, I'm sure there's an actual term for this sort of visual distortion that you see when you're looking through a source of fire or an intense heat source. I don't know what that term is, but yeah, it's a really cool effect. Okay, can you actually drop down there? You can. Okay, that's interesting. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this. But that's why. I don't think I've explained this yet in this playthrough, but for those of you who are new here to my blind playthroughs, that's why this build is named Regret. Because, simply... it's a first playthrough. You're never going to do everything. You're never going to do everything right during a first playthrough, let alone do everything. So you might as well not worry about it. You're going to regret things, and that's fine. And that's why our character is named Regret, so that you can sort of keep reminding ourselves that it's okay to have regrets from a first playthrough. And that really, there should be no regrets. Okay, was this a mistake? So far, so good. No, okay, there's an item here. Somber Smithing Stone level 8. So lots of upgrade materials we're getting our hands on now. Which is always useful. Okay, so there are a couple ways forward, it seems. So, there's an upper and a lower. Let's check the lower first. Snake required ahead. What is that supposed to mean? Oh gosh. Yeah, I've basically inverted my exploration heuristic, which I've talked about previously. Oh, there's a painting in here. So basically, exploration heuristic was up before down and open doors before closed ones. Seems fairly obvious. But I developed it. That is a curious angle. But it looks like from this angle you can really see that there are two separate trees that are braided together. More so than in any other angle. I suspect it's somewhere in this like volcano area where we're going to find that. Domain of Dragons. So yeah, we did indeed see a petrified dragon in that direction, so that makes sense. That would be the Domain of Dragons. But yeah, I developed my exploration heuristic to make it easier to explore the Chalice dungeons in Bloodborne. And, you know, it didn't work in every Chalice dungeon, certainly, but for the most part it worked out rather well. Up before down, open before closed, and the logic being, you know, you explore open doorways before closed ones because It's an easy way to keep track of where you've gone and where you need to go, but also up before down, because the exits would often spit you out in a way that if you go up, you'll end up going down anyway. So if you're given the choice of going up before down, it just makes sense to go up first. Oh gosh darn it. These friends are here. The vulgar militia. And yeah, I tried using it with mixed success in this game. Don't know that it's worth it. Oh, Shadow Militiaman Helm. Helm as dark as shadow, worn by vulgar militiamen. Freshly singed battlegrounds, suffusing with the stench of the dead. Forbidden lands that will be excised from the memory of history. What better place than the realms of shadow, then, for such an army? In a long-forgotten place where none would tread, the light of grace quietly grew ever more brilliant. So, obviously, that's seemingly, anyway, in reference to the Shadow Realm. What the? What were they doing there? Were they glitching out, or were they actually trying to do something in here? Rata fruit. Okay. Be summoned to assist Needle Knight Leda. Be summoned to... Oh. Gosh darn it. What a choice. Yeah, I don't agree with Hornsent's revenge mission, but I also don't agree with Needle Knight Leda's, you know, just, yeah, screw the Hornsent. I'm going to kill him. Okay. I'll side with the Hornsent.
Worthy Hornsent, I will dispose of you. Before your thirst for revenge beckons our you, I can no longer trust your word.
In the end, I knew this day would come. The nature of your kind, I am certain, will always show itself. Given time, interfere not with my business. Zealot, do not interfere. This is my revenge.
Was he talking to me? I assume he was speaking with Leda there. Blessing of Needle Knight Leda, an unalloyed light that has never dwelled in an eye. Used to gain 40,000 runes. Mikala gifted Leda with gentle gold to bring a soft hue to her faded eyes. Swift slash. I hear footsteps. Oh shoot. Oh my. Okay. Who's that? It's one of the fire priestesses from Dark Souls 2. Ouch. Oh god, just panic dodges there. Okay, this is not going well. Maybe they won't know we're here. Oh, I deserve that. Whoops. Alright, that was interesting. Question is now, what do we do? How are we going to get back there without losing all of our flasks? I guess the answer is to not suck. So I'll try to do that. I keep forgetting about this trap. Excuse me. Keep losing my voice too. Gosh darn it. That's like almost 300,000 runes I just lost. Alrighty then. I guess we're just running back. I'm really struggling without being able to parry. Okay, they seem to have forgotten about us for the most part, so that's really good. Was it here that we died? I'm pretty sure it was. Oh yeah, there they are. Oh, okay. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Okay. So I assume that red fire knight is on patrol, which is to say they'll turn around and go back if they don't see you. Indeed. Okay. Is this a different spot, or is this the spot where we already dropped down? Oh, this friend is scary. Bone dart. They have something on their cape. I'm sure the item description will shed some light on that, hopefully. Why are they all facing the opposite direction? Oh, you got some good range on that, friend. Well done. Is this a shortcut exit? It is indeed. That's the site of grace. Okay. Yeah, let's, oh my gosh, all the blood stains. Let's have a rest. It's worth it having to deal with him again. If it means we don't have to deal with that the rest of that absolute mess of a run back. So, yet another instance in which up before down actually would have been quite bad. It just goes to show, you know, it was designed, that system, for the Chalice Dungeons, and worked quite well in the Chalice Dungeons of Bloodborne, but not necessarily in the context of other games. Let's try this again. Uh-oh. They're just doing a badass slow walk. Okay, so I guess should have been using the poison arrows the whole time. Alright, that works. Ooh. Alright, get wrecked. That was a lot easier that time. A little bit of cheese makes everything easier. Okay, it looks like another boss fight, potentially. Or an elevator. Alright. And a site of grace. All right. So, petrified bull, a goat or something, and a human. Specimen Storehouse. Okay, that makes sense. Storehouse first floor. Whole bunch of tablets. I have no earthly idea what language that is. So I'm not even going to speculate because, yeah, I just have no idea. You know what? Let's see. If I were to use my phone and look at Google Translate, try to get Google Translate to detect the language. Yeah, Google has no idea. So, I'm sure someone's long ago figured that out at this point. place reminds me of the Grand Archives in Dark Souls 3. Okay. Very weird. Very eerie vibes in this place. Of course, that describes most of the game, but especially this place. Bolt Drake Talisman +3. I don't think it has any new lore associated with it. It's just stronger, so. Lots of platforming in this place, seemingly. I don't know where we go from here, though. I was an adventurer until I took an arrow in the skull. But it's okay because I'm a shadow person. Don't actually have a skull. I'm so used to two-handing my weapon as soon as I equip it that I need to stop doing that, because obviously not one-handing a weapon. Need both weapons to actually be effective. Ouch, that hurt. Probably could have just let that person do their research. Oops, sorry. Oh, and then, gosh darn it. I didn't see the book until it was too late that time. Okay, I'm going to try and leave the people who are reading to their own devices. Ouch, that one really hurt. Okay, I don't feel like we've explored everything here. You can see a vulgar militiaman right there. Site of Grace, obviously. Gosh darn it. Okay, yep. This is not going well. There we go. Revered Spirit Ash. This really is reminiscent of the Grand Archives. Alrighty. Oh. I was not expecting that to work. That's cool. Ouch. Oh no. It's one of those fire knights. Gosh darn it. I don't want to deal with them. Yeah, presumably you're meant to attack them. And then you're and then as you're dealing with them, these three shadow fire sorcerers, shadow pyromancers, I don't know how to describe them, come down from upstairs and just pelt you with flames in the back. Black Firefly. What is hanging from the ceiling here? Horns. So, this seems to be more sort of biopower stuff happening here. In the base game, the notion of biopower is applicable to a lot of things, but mostly to the idea of the Empyreans, I think. Being vessels for the Elden Ring. Again, it's another one of those things that I was going to talk about in that video essay, but obviously covered a lot of ground that to add another subject to that topic would have been probably ill-advised, given how much ground we were already covering. Ouch. That really does do a good job of concealing our facial expressions. Stupid fire priest / knight. Get wrecked. I really want that outfit though. If for no other reason than to just get the little lore dump associated with it. Beast horn. Horn suffused with spirituality, material used for crafting items, found by hunting horned beasts of the realm of shadow. The crucible has a particularly strong influence on the beasts of the realm of shadow, causing many to grow horns despite the characteristics of their species. Okie dokie. Keep up the great work, friend. Same to you. Okay, there's still that elevator we've not used. I believe that was down here. Shadowmen Militia Gauntlets. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. I deserve that. All right. It's now a week later. It's Sunday, September the 29th, 2024. I hope you're all still having a fantastic day. And I've had some time to reflect on the fact that we've been getting our rear ends handed to us. Oh no, that's bad. Our rear ends handed to us here. And I've decided that we might as well try out this new approach. And I considered whether it might be worth, because obviously we're not really using our arcane at the moment, whether it might be worth respecking our build. Because we do have quite a few larval tiers. But in going to verify how many larval tiers we have, I noticed something that I don't believe I noticed earlier. And yeah, many of you were probably screaming when I was questioning the whole larval tier gravestone thing, because the item descriptions are actually different. So this is the original one from the Lands Between, core of a creature of mimicry known as a silver tier. As much a substance as it is a living organism. Material required by the amber egg cradled by Ralva, queen of the full moon, to birth people anew. Being born anew allows the reallocation of attributes boosted by leveling up. So those last two paragraphs are exactly the same in this item description, but you can see whereas this one is described as a substance and a living organism. In other words, it's a sort of liminal object. This item is also a liminal object, but in a different sense. So it's an exceptionally rare creature that burgeons from spirit graves and lives only a fleeting existence. Neither flesh nor spirit, but something in between. So that's neither flesh nor spirit, but something in between, whereas this is seemingly neither a substance nor a living organism, but something in between. So, yeah. Presumably this is meant to be sort of a microcosm, a manifestation of the differences between the Lands Between and the Shadow Realm. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it than that at the moment. You can see there's a rare item shiny on the bottom of that horrifying looking face up there. Or I guess I should say the top of their head, the top of the horns on their head. And so, yeah, I ultimately opted not to respec because I don't know that it would make that significant of a difference because we're already at 54 dexterity. So I don't know if an extra 5 or 6 levels would really have made a huge difference, but the main reason why I've opted to do this, in case it's not obvious and I didn't just mention it because I'm not sure that I did, is the ability to parry. That, I believe, has been the main source of my struggles with that dual wielding setup that we were just using. Gosh darn it. So, yeah, I remembered this weapon that we picked up, the, Gauche. And decided, yeah, might as well give it a shot. So we're not doing bleed damage anymore, or at least not while we're using this, because we can always just go back to the weapon we started with, the Eleanor's pole blade, but I figured this would be an interesting experiment to see, because, you know, I've not really used a weapon like this since Dark Souls 2. In Dark Souls 2, I quite enjoyed using rapiers, and I think that's possibly a byproduct of the fact that just during that period in time, well, we were like progressing all the way up, but it doesn't look like we really explored everything down here, so I'm glad that we died, because it looks like there is still a lot more left to do here. Quite a few friends praying and otherwise studying. Obviously, I would rather avoid, so we've picked up the item from that corpse there. I'd rather avoid killing friends if I don't need to. So we've already pulled this lever. But yeah, I'd like to make sure that we've covered all of our ground here. But yeah, so in any case, I once again, this is born partially out of my desire to address some of the feedback that people kindly offered with respect to my blind playthrough of the base game, in which many people sort of bemoaned the lack of experimentation in terms of the builds, and I suppose I'm still more or less... Oh. It's what's-his-face. No, it doesn't show you who it is until you actually speak with them on the map, that is. But yeah, a lot of people think justifiably bemoan my lack of experimentation in that game. I use a greatsword for pretty much the majority of the... or not pretty much the majority, for almost the entirety of the playthrough. So, you know, I hope those people are a little bit more happy with the variety that we've used in... or the weapon variety we've used up to this point. I'm not articulating myself very well today, I apologize. So yeah, anyways, let's move on.
Righteous Tarnished. It's been some time. After unburdening my soul to you, I had hoped to make a fresh start, but there was one thought I could not dislodge from my mind. So, here I am, quite unable to move on.
Okay, that's not good. Just realizing now that I've not adjusted the volume to the level it should be at, so saying this as much as to you as a note to myself to ensure that I'm adjusting things in post-production accordingly, but I've now increased the volume to its intended level. Okay, so tell me more, friend.
After Lord Moke's slaying at his dynastic palace, it appears his body has been absconded with and taken straight to kind Mikola. Surely you recall that I once served Lord Moog as a pureblood knight, after failing him in every regard and losing sight of my vows. I'd do anything to make amends, in whatever meager way I can.
Okay, so that's quite a stark reversal from at least what I understood to be the storyline in the base game, which was that Moog absconded with Mikola's body. And now we're hearing that after we defeated Moog, his body was taken and brought to Mikola. Very interesting. And he wants to make up for not somehow preventing that.
What could they possibly have in mind for Lord Moog's remains? The implications are rather unnerving. What could they... Okie
dokie. Sir Ansbach, that's what it was. I couldn't remember his name for some reason. I say for some reason, but it's been a heck of a week, that's for sure. We were in and out of the hospital a few times with Aurelia of Astora. She had a terrible virus, which caused her to break out in hives. And yeah, just an absolutely horrible, horrible week. Very scary stuff. But she's on the mend now, thankfully, so that's why I'm able to do a little bit of recording today, because she's sleeping and doing much, much, much better than she was earlier in the week, which was, yeah, she was not doing great. So, but all is well in the world now. Ouch. Ouch, okay. Yeah, you really can't get cute with those flames. They are quite good at tracking you. Okay, is that everything? Oh, wait, where did this go? Once again, I apologize. I know this is going back down to the... Where is this? Okay, I don't think we have been down here. Ooh, that hurts. Ouch. Sorry, friend. Cold, pickled foul foot. So yeah, I mentioned Dark Souls 2. I spent a lot of time using rapiers. And, yeah, just really stacking the dex damage. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that hurts. Not nice, friend. I think it may also, gosh, I really can't speak today. It may also have had something to do with the fact that, you know, at that point in time, Ash of War, Wall of Sparks. So that's similar to the attacks that those, oh, this place looks dreadful. Similar to the attacks that were being used by those perfumers. So to finish my thought though, Dark Souls 2, you know, that came out in what, 2014. At a point in time when I was still in grad school and still had a bit more time to myself. And you compare that to now, and obviously I don't have that kind of time anymore for various reasons. Not complaining, it's just the way life is. At a certain point you just stop having time for certain things when you have a family and whatever. But, so it could just have been a byproduct of the fact that I had so much time to play the game that, oh, this really is a horrifying scene. So much time to play the game that, you know, I had time to experiment with all sorts of different types of builds that, you know, again, unfortunately, in the context of Elden Ring, I just don't have that type of time. Oh no, oh, that's bad. What the heck? What the? Okay. That was, more than a little disconcerting. It's a good thing we were attuned to the existence of this attack before actually going down there, because that really would have taken us by surprise. We would have been in deep trouble, I think. But this looks like some sort of hospital, research center, where, yeah, they're doing truly horrifying things to the people who have been stuffed into these jars. Oh my goodness, this is not, yeah, very, very reminiscent of the lecture hall in Bloodborne. I keep two-handing my weapon accidentally while it's supposed to be dual wielding. Oh, I tried to roll there, but just do it on time. So, yeah, so I don't know if it's necessarily that in Dark Souls 2 the rapiers were that much better, or, you know, whatever the case is. I think it's more likely that I just had more time to experiment, and that led me to use a wider variety of builds, which included rapiers, which I quite enjoyed. So here we are, once again, using a rapier. Battlefield Priest Cookbook, or rapier adjacent weapon, I should say, because I guess technically the weapon on my left hand is a dagger. Ash of War, Wall of Sparks. Scatter perfumed powder in vicinity, producing intense sparks after a brief delay. Can be charged to increase power and range. The properties of the sparks are determined by the perfume bottle used. So this is the 4th page of the Battlefield Priest Cookbook. Acquire the knowledge to craft the following. Sun Warmth Stone. Spirit Grave Stone, blessed with an Erdtree incantation, craftable item. Uses FP to generate sun warmth, continuously restoring the HP of those nearby. Has a more potent effect than a warming stone. Sunlight feels all the warmer in darkened lands. And you can see it has sort of a tree root motif behind it. You can hear the potted friends running around still, so I think that means they're in need of another dose of poison before we head down those stairs. Although I presume those stairs will lead us down to the same place, or, oh, thanks for the rating, friends. Presumably that will all lead to the same place. Okay, now let's get the other one. This one might not even need to be poisoned again, indeed. Oh, that's bad. It doesn't do a ton of damage, so I wonder if that's like damaging our equipment or something. Sorry, little jar friend. I don't know if it's worth it killing the small jars before we go down there, so let's just, gosh. Every time I switch my weapon, I immediately two-hand it. A relic of, the time when I was using the, gosh, there's so many of these friends here. At the time I was using the greatsword, which obviously I tended to two-hand, and also the Eleanor's pole blade, I guess, which I was also two-handing. They appear to be chained on the stairs, which is good for us, bad for them. Oh, maybe not. Once again. What a weird attack. It's like they're firing shards of the jar at us, but they're dissipating before they reach us. So it's not a very long distance attack, but I don't know that we've seen that yet. Behold dung. That's unfortunate. Sorry, friend. It's a miserable existence in this place. House. Yeah, look at this. Not nice. How are you still alive? Raises their hands like the Night King in Game of Thrones. Oh, for a second it looked like they weren't going to be aggressive. Ouch. I deserve all of that. All of those hits I deserved. Yeah, absolutely dreadful, this place. No. I assume it wasn't supposed to look like that. Friend, are you stuck on the floor? What? Okay. Let's just leave them be, because that's a worse fate than anything I can do to them. Iris of Grace. An iris blessed with an incantation of the Erdtree, placed on the eye of another to grant them the light of grace as a fleeing blessing? Do they mean fleeting blessing? Okay. Can also be used to receive the blessing of an equipped great rune. In the realm of shadow, this artifice was employed by the priests of the Erdtree to quell the fears of their flock to magnificent effect. So again, that same theme we've seen about colonialism being furthered by religious institutions. I'm gonna get you as soon as I... Just... Oh, poor friend. So yeah, I don't know what is going on here, but it's simply dreadful. Presumably, oh, he got free. Good job. They were using the iris to sort of cause these people to be deluded into thinking that they weren't just going to die as clumps of meat on a bed or in a jar. Oh, I should have seen that coming. Ouch. Okie dokes. I do quite enjoy this moveset, but the damage it's doing does leave a little bit to be desired. So we may need to keep that in mind if we're going to stick with it. And consider how we might be able to boost the damage a little bit. Sorry, jar friends. Site of Grace, thankful. Thankful for that. Sorry, should have just ignored you. I assume you can parry these, I'm just not getting the timing right. Gosh darn it. Seems familiar. What? Okay, what's familiar about this? West Rampart. Okay, so that's gonna lead to the ruins then? That's intriguing. It's a small door and a big door. Do we want to proceed? I don't know. Okay. If I recall correctly, oh yeah, so this is definitely leading to those ruins. If I recall correctly, though, we have a bunch of runes that we dropped up here. I don't know how many there were, but it's probably worth it for us to continue ascending there before we proceed in this direction. Okay, now... do not remember the path we took. But I do seem to recall we did a lot of platforming to get to where we were going. So, let's continue platforming then. It's very smoky here. Okay, that's the elevator. That one hurt. Another militiaman just sort of let us go. That's nice of them. Ouch. Oh, there's a lot to dodge here. We're gonna lose our runes. Oh, now we aggro that friend too. This is not going well for us, is it? Alrighty then. That's got to be embarrassing. Friends are really just hiding in the corner here? I guess that makes sense. They're all about ambushes and catching you off guard and outnumbering you, tricking you, which I suppose is fair enough. When you're so tiny, you have to really rely on different kind of tactics. Okay, that wasn't a ton of runes. I suppose we could have gone without those, but... So, it was fighting these friends which really made me think we need to be able to parry again. Oh, dreadful. Dreadful dodging. You can't dodge fire, Aegon. Or you can't parry fire, I should say. At least not with that weapon. Okay, this is not going well. Oh. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Oh, jeez Louise. It hurts so bad. Are you stuck? That's too bad. That's too bad. Okay, this is not good. We really cannot rely on them getting stuck in order to defeat them. I need to be able to dodge their attacks a lot better than I've been doing. Like fire attacks more specifically. Because otherwise, like, there's so many of them, we're just going to run into them and it's just going to be game over each time. They really want you to think that you can get a backstab on them, but then they activate as soon as you start moving closer to them. I was thinking, yeah, that's really going to be the litmus test when we run into the fire priests again. And, yeah, we did not pass the litmus test, or the new weapons anyway didn't pass it. But really, let's be honest, it was me. I'm the one who did not pass the test. So, we're going to revert to Eleanor's pole plate. Oh wow, we were carrying a lot of extra weight there for no reason. Let's go back to our old build and try that again. suppose it didn't help that we had the Lord of Blood's Exaltation equipped when we weren't using it there, but, you know, I don't really think that's the reason we did so poorly there. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I was not looking at the screen because I was turning away from the mic to cough. I did not mean to attack that friend. Eleanor's pole blade does have a certain feel to it that... Oh, come on. This is not going well. Where the heck did I go from here? There. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one red priest, red fire knight, whatever the heck they're called, and leave them to their own devices. And in fact, this one over here, there's really no reason for us to fight them unless they activate from that distance, but it doesn't look like they are, so that's good. So let's just take avoiding action wherever possible. There's another one in the corner over there. They are guarding an item, so obviously we don't have much of a choice. I was wondering if those other friends would activate. Oh gosh darn it, but... Oh. It serves me right for not taking them out. So you can't draw this one too far away because then... Oh, what the... That was quite the homing attack there. Oh yeah, this is the ridiculously strong one with the greatsword. Oh no. I hate you all. Okay, that works. No, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't remotely worth it. Oh, beast horns all on this shelf here. Just heading back to their posts. Like, okay, I guess he's gone. We showed him. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a nice little red blade sticking out of the wall here. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna heal my friends. With the power of gold. Okay. That's good, but now we only have 3 flasks to fight this ridiculously strong greatsword fire knight. Likely dog indeed. Although he seems to have become distracted by something else down there, so I will take it. Okay, no mercy for these friends anymore. I'm sorry. But you all have lost my trust. Blessed Bone Shard. Do not want to activate that, friend. Frill Calling, Finger Remedy. Some vulgar militiamen. Oh, come on. Lift ahead. Another message said jumping required ahead, so I assume in order to get that item... Indeed. I need to jump here. No, I don't like this at all, though. Oh, Site of Grace. Very nice. Okay. But how do we get that item that's... Scadu Fragment. Storehouse Cross Message. Message left by Sir Anspach, addressed to kindred spirits who also pursue Miquella's trail. It would seem that the people of the keep have flooded the holy quarter that leads onward to the Scadu Tree, barring access. However, there is no route that leads there from this storehouse. Perhaps there is another way to reach the holy quarter from somewhere else in this keep. Holy quarter that leads onwards to the Scadu Tree. Okay. I do not remember, even though we've spoken to him in this episode. Like, I kind of remember. I have his voice in my head, but yeah, that's obviously a very poor impression of Sir Anspach, so apologies for that. I abandon here my arm dextral. So, right arm. Because sinistral is left, dextral is right. So, as I mentioned, yes, in Italian, destra, I think, is right, and sinistra is left. And something that I probably should have mentioned last time, just coming to mind this time, is, you know, I've talked before about the extent to which politics are embedded in language and culture and you know, everything else. And destra, sinistra, right, left, and correct, sinister. So, in other words, it's embedded in our language, this impetus to keep things traditional, to be conservative, and to be left of center is a sinister thing. So, yeah, it really is interesting to me anyway. So I hope you all find it interesting as well. Storehouse, 4th floor. We have 243,000 runes. We only need 20,000 more to level up, so let's see if we can do that. I was not super keen on leveling up before. But then, yeah, we lost a couple 100,000 runes, so I figured might as well. So, before we proceed, we do need to... How are we supposed to get that item? Well, that's not it. Yeah, I have no idea how we're supposed to get that. Like, no earthly idea. Oh. And I still see items everywhere, so we've clearly not explored everything. So before we proceed in that direction, we're going to want to make sure that we do that. But first, how are we supposed to proceed from here? Oh, that's not how. Yes, I see that. Darn it. I thought maybe if we just mashed X while jumping towards it, we could do that, but I'm now thinking we probably need to cut this thing down. Question is how? Erect. As I've said, apologies, but you violated my trust, so... Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Fire Priest is there. Yes, get wrecked. Just mashing L2 there. Ah, Fire Knight Gauntlets. Gauntlets of the Fire Knights under Messmer the Impaler's personal command. Each and every knight hailed from a renowned family of the Erdtree's upper echelons, but were shunned and chased from their homes after pledging allegiance to Messmer as their master. So I don't know if we were told they were Fire Knights or if I sort of correctly guessed that that's what their title was, but I'll take it. Oh, that was also not worth it. Beast Horn. So yeah, I'm thinking there has to be a way for us to cut down that large specimen, because how the heck else are you supposed to get that item? It's interesting, the iconography, given that we have seen, obviously, throughout the base game, the iconography of Marika having been crucified, essentially. Dueling shield. And so, you know, it's not out of the ordinary to see this, but I suppose you could argue that That doesn't really look like a crucifixion, but that's what it brings to mind for me anyway. A thrusting shield, or combined weapon and shield, enables the wielder to attack and guard simultaneously. An armament once used in ritual combat performed to honor the Erdtree, a custom that had somehow remained within the realm of shadow. Very interesting. So I used that whole ritual combat to honor the Erdtree thing as evidence that there exists a culture of violence within the lands between. And so if that theory holds, then it also suggests that there's a culture of violence within the realm of shadow. So very interesting stuff. Though I suppose you could also take that to mean that you can interpret that in a way that runs counter to my suggestion, which was that there has to be another way for us to access that, which is that it is not, in fact, a product of culture, but of nature. Was this friend just there? Did they just appear there? That's very scary. What was I thinking? I thought maybe they would jump off or something, but obviously they're not that stupid. Okay, so there are still items, clearly, that we've missed, but I'm inclined to just press on at this point. Maybe we'll just find our way to those items by doing so. Yeah, you're going to need a Stormhawk feather to not fall to your death there, that's for sure. Okay, so the veil is here. It looks a lot... Oh, that scared the daylights out of me. Oh my goodness, I... basically, almost wet my pants there. That was, yeah, horrifying. Where the heck was this friend even perched? Oh, just above us, I guess. Not nice, bad friend. Jeez Louise. I was just trying to have a look at our surroundings, which I'm afraid to do now. So, this is once again either a canopy or a root system above where we are, that the worlds may in fact be stacked, as I've suggested previously. That's where we're aiming to go. You know what, I'd be curious to see what time it's morning right now, so let's see. I suspect it will look different, but let's pass the time and see how different. Indeed, it looks different. Stop it. So let's go back to morning time. I believe I've mentioned this previously, but again, in an alternate universe, yeah, that's more or less how it looked previously. In an alternate universe in which I had tons of time to play this game, what I'd like to do is do a sort of, I don't know if I'd describe it as a challenge run necessarily. Oh, that's new. In which every site of grace you reach, you have to advance the time to night. Which I think would be a pretty cool, or at least interesting experience, because so much stuff happens only at night in this game that it'd be one way that you could just make sure that you're not missing out on things. So in addition to the fire, they are using Erdtree incantations. And you can see like an Erdtree logo when they're casting it, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that's something that you see with all incantations, including the incantations the player uses, but I'll slow it down and zoom in so that you can see what I'm talking about if you're not clear on what I'm saying. Get wrecked. You know, it's funny, the instructions for the special attack, for the longest time, I assumed additional input meant you just press any button. I didn't realize it was an additional L2. And I suppose I don't want to say additional L2 because the controls are different based on, and I'm pretty sure you can remap them as well. Black Firefly. So, yeah. So are these meant to be funeral rites or something like that? Like, what is happening with these boats? They all appear to have the same sigil that we've seen previously, with the ring and the flame and the two halves of the circle. The spear with the snake around it running down the middle. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but it's a thing. Oh, stop it. Silly birds, bats, whatever they are. Ah. Sorry, friends. Can't trust you anymore, as I've stated. Shadow Rune level 5. In a long-forgotten place where none would tread, the light of grace quietly grew ever more brilliant. So, yeah. Trying to think of the relationship between the Shadow Realm and the lines between, and in the lines between, the light, the gold, slowly faded. But if I'm understanding what that item description is getting at, then the light here was growing stronger in turn, which is consistent with other instances, or with the way it's been described in other games. Again, I mentioned Dark Souls 2 previously, that they really placed a focus on the sort of dialectical relationship between light and dark. And yeah, it seems like they're doing something very similar here. Secret Rite Scroll. A scroll made of white tree bark. Few can decipher the scroll, which describes the secret rite of the Divine Gateway, said to be found at the tower enshrouded by shadow. A lord will usher in a god's return, and the lord's soul will require a vessel. A lord will usher in a god's soul? Is that about Mohg and Miquella? Not sure. I'm inclined to suggest that we should go let Sir Ansbach know about that note, but I doubt very much he will have anything new to say because of it. He's at least not had anything new to say in the past when presented with new information of that sort. We are quite high up now. don't know why I put that point into Dex. I really should have put it into Mind. Would have made a lot more sense, because, yeah, it would be nice to have a little bit more FP. Oh, well, we do have quite a few Norval tiers still. So we can always respec again. Just obviously trying not to be too wasteful. Because there are life forms / objects and spirits / bodies being sacrificed each time we use one, and so I would rather not be using them willy-nilly. Yeah, I am much more comfortable with Eleanor's pole blade. So it's been all the time. Yeah, I hope you guys are happy with all the weapon variety I've been using in this playthrough. I'm using all sorts of different weapons, and then right back to the weapon I started with. It's not really what I was going after, but obviously if I'm struggling tremendously, yeah. Although, again, that could be a sign that maybe I should be using more or burning more Scadu Tree fragments. Wow, I was gonna say, do they not bleed? Because I hit that friend many times and they didn't bleed until right at the end. Oops. I assume they were referencing the Fire Knight there, which we did, and it worked out quite well, which is why I gave them a rating. So plenty of antlers here. Suggesting perhaps that they're studying the relationship between the antlers and the horns. How are they similar? How are they different? That type of thing. Oh, terribly timed. Enjoy your healing. I can't take this. Yeah, this is not an easy area by any stretch of the imagination. Oh. Oh. This is bad. Oh, this is real bad.
Now, Freya.
Oh no.
Don't get Take it slow.
Okay. Something went on up there, obviously. Oh no, dead. They hit so hard, it's unbelievable. R1, R1, R1. Okay, so is someone torturing Freya?
By my lord, would I ever make sense of this jumble?
Is it this Fire Knight talking? Leave us alone. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, L2 attack.
Oh my lord. Will I ever make sense of this jumble?
Where the heck are they? Must be right above us. Spirit Calculus. An exceedingly rare to find calculus, suffused with spirituality, material used for crafting items, found by hunting horned beast in the ancient ruins of Rauh. Has a distinctive acrid odor, which some claim to be a sign of particular spiritual potency. Okie dokie. Sorry. I know that we should be going up. I am stalling indeed, but at least this way we can hopefully grab all the items we've been missing, including this one, which is, I believe, the one we were trying to jump down to. That's frightening. I'm sure that they were a totally reasonable and normal and kind person. Okay, so rather than knocking it down, we had to bring them up. Very interesting. Because I can now see that we could just go to the edge of that platform there. So we have to do a little bit of backtracking, which is fine, but sorry, friend. Really had no reason to do that, but, you know, still bitter about that trap. Okay, here we go. Site of Grace.
By my lord. Will I ever make sense of this jumble?
Oh, it is Freya. She's just talking to herself, I guess. She's also trying to read the stone tablets. Okay, so before we sit at the site of grace, we're going to want to make sure that we've done everything we can here. So this appears potentially to be the key to ascending also. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything else here, so let's go have a rest at the site of grace and speak with Freya. Storehouse, 7th floor. Friend, I already tried to run it through Google Translate. Yeah, there's nothing there really, so I don't know if staring at it for a really long time is going to make a difference, but yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm afraid I'm busy. A curse upon my lack of foresight. I should have asked Ansbach to impart his knowledge when I had the chance.
Hi, sweetie pie. Did you have a good nap? Do you want to come say hello? Aurelia Astora, say hi into the microphone. Say hi. Hi. How are you? Say how are you? Oh, hold on. Oh, car. This is... We're going to have to go to quit game. And then we're going to stop the recording. And we're back. Sorry about that. So I believe she was bemoaning the fact that she didn't use the opportunity she had to learn some random language from Sir Ansbach. I'm not sure if she, was she faced with this language previously and decided that she didn't need to learn it? Sort of like me with French. In Ontario and Canada, we are all given the opportunity to learn French as part of our schooling. I used that as my opportunity to just be stupid as a kid, and I regret it to this day. So yeah, I don't know if it's a similar situation there, but let's speak with her again and find out.
I'm afraid I'm busy. Truly. I should have asked Ansbach to impart his knowledge when I had the chance.
So she may not be speaking in terms of specifics. She's busy just staring at us and staring at the... It's not going to become any more clear if you're just staring at it, if it's a language you don't know, friend. I don't know what you have in mind, like how you're... Yeah, anyways. So she may just be referring more specifically, or more broadly rather, to something, Sir Ansbach being a very learned person, and that, I don't know. It's a kind of an odd thing, but let's have a rest and see if she disappears.
Bye, my...
Nope, still here.
I'm afraid I'm busy.
Okie dokie. Okay, so, maybe we should go speak with Sir Ansbach. He is on the first floor, I believe, and we are on the 7th floor now. So let's head to the first floor. I'm trying to remember now where he was. And yeah, it's not coming to me. So, may just need to explore a little bit. Although, things have obviously shifted, which is something I expected. So, I've been thinking about the particle effects, which I know is something that I say all the time, and some people roll their eyes when I say such things, which I suppose is fair enough. Was Ansbach in the 4th floor? I really do not remember. But you can see here, when these shadow friends are casting their magic, I showed a little bit earlier how when the Fire Knights are casting not their fire magic, but their other magic, that you can see a sort of Erdtree logo, I'm not sure how to describe it, Erdtree emblem at the source where they're casting the spell, and the same thing is happening here, and it looks like a tongue of fire. Which is very reminiscent, I think, to the coat of arms that we've seen in a few places, where one side has a tongue of fire and the other side has a ring. The ring, by the way, I suspect at this point, is Miquella's great rune, which has since been shattered. But, we knew that Miquella was fond of rings, by way of the... Was it Radagon's Rings of Light? The incantation that was given to Miquella by Radagon. Indeed, Radagon's Rings of Light. One of the incantations of the Golden Order Fundamentalists, a gift of gratitude to the young Miquella from his father, Radagon, produces a golden ring of light and fires it across a wide area, charging enhances range. And yet the young Miquella abandoned fundamentalism, for it could do nothing to treat Melania's accursed rot. This was the beginning of unalloyed gold. And in fact, in looking at the, I've never actually used this incantation, but in looking at the image, it looks quite similar to the spell I was just referencing that is used by the Fire Knight, the incantation, I should say, that the Fire Knights use. So, I do wonder if those things are related. But the reason I'm bringing all of this up, the sort of emblems you can see when some people are casting incantations or fire spells. I'm bringing that up because the Fire Knights have all sorts of frightening and devastating fire spells, however you would describe them, pyromancies, whatever the case may be. And in, I want to say all of them, but at least in some of them, looking back at the footage, what the heck, did I miss all of this, or was this only, oh, of course. Okay, well, that sort of helps in terms of allowing me to make this point. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I need to heal. I'm just gonna keep spamming L2. Get wrecked. Okay, that didn't help at all because I don't think they use this spell. So there is a very specific spell that they use. And when they cast this spell, you can see what looks very much like the snake. There are several snakes that get fired along with the spell towards you. They look just like the snake that you see in that coat of arms that we've already looked at several times. So yeah, I don't know that necessarily produces any sort of insight into what's happening here or the world or anything like that, but I thought it was a nice little detail, the fact that this coat of arms is actually reflected in the spells that are being used. So yeah, I thought I would mention that because I noticed that during editing, and I definitely noticed it while I was playing as well, but just the significance of it didn't really dawn on me until editing once again. So I'm beginning to think maybe Ansbach was on the 4th floor and that we've just sort of wasted time going around here. However, we've still not picked up the item over there, so I think now is an opportunity for us to do that. Hopefully we can do that without aggroing these Fire Knights, but I suspect, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Oh, I'm dead. Oh no, that's the wrong flask. Aegon, what are you doing? Okie dokes, that was dreadful. Where now are our runes? They're right over there. So, gosh. Question is it safe to jump down there? I'm going to equip a rune of sacrifice, or a sacrificial twig rather. And we'll find out. Oh no. Oh. I was not expecting that to work. Okay, so this person has pustules just like the Omen. So, again, not revelatory necessarily, and I want to say that I pointed that out previously, but Pearl Drake Talisman +3, very nice. So now let's get our runes and get the heck out of here. Beautiful. Oh no, oh no. I got way too confident there. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm wondering now. Oh, I should heal. I'm wondering whether it's worth re-exploring any of these areas we've already sort of been through. Or if that item was really the only thing. It may have been the only thing. It's convenient, I know. For someone who's so terrified. Okay, yeah, let's head back. We still need to find Ansbach, so let's go to the 4th floor. I really have... Oh, actually, this will be completely cut off, I think, from everything else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we tried that, and I'm pretty sure we died in the process. But it is very tempting, isn't it? Gosh darn it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we climbed across that friend to get here. Although, can we now climb across there to get... Nah, I doubt it. Gosh darn it. Okay, whatever. I'm going to try. Let's give it a shot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. No, leave me alone, friends, please. Please. Oh, I deserve that. Once again, absolutely no one to blame for that but myself. Just ridiculous. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, we got some extra damage now. Although it's about to run out. Get absolutely obliterated. Now, if I had unlimited FP, I could do that to them every time. It's not a sustainable approach, obviously, though. So, there is a ladder up there, but I don't think we can reach that. So, yeah, this whole thing was pointless. Alrighty. I really should just look back at my footage and use that to identify where Sir Ansbach is. But to do that, I would have to close out my recording software, and it's a whole process because my computer is terrible. Oh my goodness. And I don't want to do that, obviously, because I like to maximize my recording time wherever possible. Oh, my goodness. Dreadful. Still, after all this time, have very little sense of where I'm going in this area. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, that's bad. There it is. Okay, I knew I was looking for stairs somewhere around here, but it's easily one of the not so ideal ways of going about finding the path forward. Oh my goodness. I can hear them coming after me. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that this is not really the way forward, because the way forward was on top of those specimens, which have now been moved. So maybe I should just stop being silly and actually look through my footage. He says as he continues wandering aimlessly. Okay, now we're literally right back where we were. So, yeah. I love that the vulgar militiamen can apparently poison these shadow friends. That's very interesting. So yeah, this is the point at which we had to progress by jumping onto one of those friends. Okie dokie, back to the 4th floor then. Okay, so there's that spell that looked a lot like Radagon's Rings of Light. And you can see, maybe it isn't all the spells, or the fire spells anyway. You can see it looks like there's the main particle effect, and then there's a whole bunch of serpents that come off of it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's what I see. R1. I live in fear of these fire knights. They're terrible. Okay, so clearly I'm missing something, because I'm pretty sure this is almost precisely where that site of grace was, indeed.
Oh, Lord, will I ever make...
I'm gonna go look at the footage and then try to figure out where Ansbach is. Okay, I know where we're going, or at least I know where Ansbach is, or was on the 1st floor.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, shush. Freya.
Senseless jumble.
Let's see if I'm right. It was through here. Indeed. Okay. Hurrah for recording footage for YouTube, because otherwise I don't think I would have been able to find him again. Hi, friend.
What could they possibly have in mind for...
Oh, after all of that, no new dialogue. Gosh. Oh, okay, never mind. Ignore me. Hand over secret right scroll, so that's the one that was carved in the gray bark. Tell him about Freya's decision. Oi, okay, that's tough. So Freya, if I recall correctly, is a red main. She wants to find out what was it? Gosh darn it, I apologize. She wants to find out something about a promise that was made by Miquella to, gosh darn it, I've forgotten everything about this game already. Yeah, she wanted to find out about the promise that was made by Miquella towards the Lord of Redmane Castle, whose name I've forgotten because I've forgotten everything apparently. So maybe, I don't know if these are opposing options or if I can do one and then just do the other. So let's assume that we can do one and then do the other. So we'll start with the top one.
Well, what's this? Yes, I should have known. Even the truth was itself mere folly. As if using Lord Mohg to gain entrance to the land of shadow were not enough, he plans to use his corpse as the vessel of his king consort. He has forsaken Lord Mohg's soul. He desires only his empty shell. It beggars belief, but I'm afraid Tender Miquella fails to grasp the humiliation implied by this act. One thing is certain. My dear lord deserved better.
Did he? Like, yeah, sure. No one deserves to have their corpse desecrated. No one deserves to have their soul hollowed out of their body and then used as a shell for Miquella's king consort, whatever that's supposed to mean. But yeah, I don't know that Mohg was that good of a lord either. Granted, you know, Mohg was oppressed and forced underground and all that stuff we talked about in the video essay. And Mohg was certainly more true to himself and to sort of his desired path than was his twin brother, Morgott. But yeah, okay, just because this is going to drive me absolutely up the wall. And if it's driving me up the wall, it's almost certainly driving you all up the wall. Oh, Radon. How do you forget Radon? So, yeah, I think Freya wanted to find out about the promise. There was some sort of pact between Miquella and Radon. Okay, interesting. Oh, thanks for the rating, friends.
Righteous Tarnished. You have my gratitude. You have given me the answers I needed, but I can hardly fathom it. Such folly. Unto the end. I am a warrior, but I've aged. I cannot afford to act hastily. Curse it all. I know my limits. I could spend the rest of my life honing my craft, and still that creature would be out of my blade's reach.
That creature? Is he referring to Miquella?
The absolute folly of it all.
Okay.
Freya, by the gods. She must be feeling the need to reaffirm her allegiance before she heads to war. A true Redmane she is, hardly troubled by the rot. Righteous Tarnished, could you please give this to Freya? Thanks to you, she too will have the answer she requires. Yes. I can see her barreling into the fray right now.
Okay, this whole thing worked out a lot better than I expected it would. A letter written by Sir Ansbach to Freya, the Redmane, presumably written in answer to her query, but the page is neatly folded to keep prying eyes from reading it. Darn it! Of course. And we picked this up earlier. I want to say this is probably identical to the ones we've already read. Talisman with a large depiction of a pearlescent ancient dragon boosts non-physical damage negation by the utmost. Indeed, that's the same one that we've already read many times, because it's the same for all different levels of those talisman.
Perhaps I shouldn't meddle in her affairs, but this is the only way I can help.
And she just so happens to be desiring your help, so it's a win-win, I think.
Perhaps I should.
Okay. All right, thank you, Sir Ansbach. It's been a pleasure, I guess, kind of. We're going to save quit and see if he's still here after we reload. And he is not, so he's moved on. So let's go speak with Freya.
I'm afraid I'm busy. Truly. I should have asked Ansbach to impart his knowledge when I had the chance.
I have something for you, friend.
From Sir Ansbach? To me? What on earth could it... Oh. Yes. Of course. I see. As the Festival of War concluded, General Radahn's soul met an honorable end, but kindly Mikola wishes to revive it, which is fine by me. I know it would pain old Jeren, but war has always suited General Radahn best, and certainly far more than any honorable death. Endless war to invigorate the soul, as befits General Radahn, the Great Lion.
What? So Mikola wants to revive Radahn's soul so that he can live in perpetual war? So again, going back to my video essay, I argued that that was like the most tragic and terrible fate of all, as evidenced by the War Dead Catacombs, where these ghosts are just fighting each other in perpetuity. And, you know, maybe this is, again, another manifestation of this same culture of violence where, to Freya, she's like, yeah, that's great, absolutely. I'm sure he'd love to be engaged in battle forever and ever and ever and ever. But, like, yeah, wow. I don't know if I'm understanding all of this correctly or not.
Thank you. Now I've finally cast off my misgivings. Give my regards to Honorable Ansbach. Tell him, if we should meet in battle, to face your bow would be fine enough, but to face your blade would be an honor.
Golden Lion Shield.
All that remains is the fight for our kind Mikola.
Shield made to resemble a fierce golden lion with a luxuriant mane, awarded to especially valorous members of Radahn's personal guard on the occasion of its formation. Unique skill, Roaring Bash. Roar like a golden lion and deliver a shield bash from a guarding position. Knocks back and staggers foes over a wide radius. So very interesting that they're both seemingly on very, opposing sides of this conflict. And yeah, they both have a certain mutual respect for one another, even after Mikola's spell has been shattered. Okie dokes, let's see if she also disappears by resting at the site of grace. No. She's still here.
All that remains is the fight.
Alright, you... I thought he was going to give her like a Rosetta Stone or something. Or like, a dictionary, like just basic, here's how you read this language. But no, it's just the knowledge of what is going to happen with General Radahn, which I suppose was her entire quest, but now she's here just, I just have to know, what does this mean? I don't get it. Like, it would be like if I were to just stare at a bunch of Japanese text for hours and just be like, I'll eventually figure it out. You wait. I should have spoken to this person, and terrible. So yeah, I'm not sure what she hopes to accomplish by doing this, but yeah, that's the thing. Okie dokes, we have 260,000 runes, and we need 266 to level up. So let's use one of these. And put a level into Mind, so that we get a little bit of extra FP. All the blood stains there from fighting this friend over here. Okay, I wonder, is there anything to be gained by hopping down there? Because then we can, yeah, okay, so that's the way indeed. Oh no, oh no, jeez Louise. I gotta be more careful. Yeah, this... Gosh darn it, I'm already stuck. All right. Is this the boss fight? Got the stake of Marika there. Sorry, friend. Curious that there would even be a stake of Marika there, given that this is not all that far from the site of grace. Ooh, we're getting much closer to the Scadu tree now. There's a Fire Knight over far side of that bridge there. Thankfully, stationary for now. Okay, it looks like we may need to adjust the specimens one more time, at least. Potentially more. Okay, I'm not sure what the point of this was, other than, yeah, I guess... Yeah, we need to come back here after activating that. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that kind of range on that. I don't know why I wasn't, but I wasn't. Should not have been caught unaware. Oh. Really playing with fire there. Winged Serpent Helm, okay. This Ash of War grants an armament the Flame Affinity and the following skill. Flame Spear, skill of Kood, Captain of the Fire Knights, ready weapon for a thrusting attack, and unleash a spear of flame straight ahead. Charged attack to increase damage dealt and distance traveled. Helm of Kood, Captain of the Fire Knights, a winged serpent perches atop it. Enhances Fire Knight skills. The winged serpent is the token creature of Messmer's military forces. It is a wise fiend which keeps the base serpent at bay and holds its power in check. Very interesting stuff. Alright, this is almost certain to be a boss fight. Here's this coat of arms I was discussing earlier. So yeah, indeed. Looking at the flame on the left, that looks just like the effect that we see when those shadow friends are casting their fire spells. We've not seen the ring on the right, I don't think, although it could very well be that Radagon's Ring of Light-esque spell, I guess. Weird, I don't know why I'm not hearing the sound for the message was appraised thing, but in any event. And this is a terrible one to be looking at to do this because the lighting's all messed up, but actually that's not too bad. You can see on the bottom, sorry, I'll use a bow so you can see what I'm talking about. On the bottom, this here, it looks like sort of a, it could be wrong, could be people. It may in fact be people, but it could also be like a landscape on fire. And then in the middle, although I can't go any farther up, but in the middle you can see there's this snake with its body wrapped around this spear in the middle. So yeah, again, don't really have all that much to say about that other than what I've just said. And to repeat what I've been saying, which is that, and indeed, so here you can really clearly see that it is two separate trees braided together. That's so interesting. Really hope we are able to learn more about that. In addition, as mentioned, oh, speaking of snakes, have we just been missing this motif all over the place, and I just not realized that we've been missing it? Because yeah, it's everywhere. Or perhaps we've just reached the level where it's supposed to start becoming more obvious and in your face. So yeah, I'm fascinated by this. So I'm not sure what we're supposed to be looking at there. Cool stuff. Okay, I'm gonna quit stalling now. We only have 8 flasks, so I guess that explains the stake of Marika, because I was questioning it. But yeah, either way, I think we're gonna be toast this first attempt, so let's see what we can do. Oh. I was certain that we were approaching another boss fight. Oh, okay. That works for me. Dark chamber entrance. Okay, let's see what this door has in store. Door has in store.
Mongrel intruder. That tarnished, it seemeth. Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
This is the person from the trailer, maybe?
Yet, my purpose standeth unchanged. Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Is this Messmer? Oh, it is. Wow, okay. I was not expecting that. Wow, that hurts. Okay. Ooh. Did we, like, skip a whole bunch of content? Based on how he was being discussed, I had assumed that he would be, like, essentially the final boss of the DLC. Ooh. Just barely dodged that. Oh, not that one. I don't know how we're still alive.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Okay, so we've met Messmer the Impaler. I suppose that's obvious based on several of the clues that we've been handed sort of heading up to this point, including the knight who was guarding the chamber. It was described as, yeah, captain of the Fire Knights. So, sort of like Messmer's guard, I guess. And I think we learned that Messmer is Queen Marika's son. So, the mother he was talking to was presumably Queen Marika. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. So we're probably going to want to do away with fashion for now in favor of armor that is a bit more robust against fire damage. So yeah, let's optimize this setup because I have a feeling we're going to need it for this boss fight. Alright, we look hideous, but we have better fire damage negation, so let's give that a shot. And there was a summon. Oh, to watch out for that.
Those stripped of the grace
dreadful.
of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Who is this? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
Foe of my beloved people, in vengeance for the flames, my blade I wield.
Okay, let's see how they do. Obviously, I have a personal prohibition against summoning. Oh. Guess I should have expected that. But I wanted to see how the Hornsent friend did. Messmer seems singularly focused on me. Okay. Can't quit, can we? We can. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was expecting that we'd click on the name and a dialog box would pop up, giving us the option to see who it is, as usual, but I believe we saw something similar during Radahn's boss fight where Obviously, they know you don't have time in the middle of the boss room to fumble with the dialogue box, so they just let you summon them by pressing one button, which makes sense, but I was not expecting it there. Let's try again.
Of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Whoa. How are you supposed to dodge that? Jeez Louise.
Those stripped of the grace of death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Okay, I'm starting to worry that we might not have what it takes. Thanks for the rating, friends. As if that rating was preordained to give me a little bit of hope. Yeah, I really don't know. Can dodge the first flurry of attacks, but after that, it's quite difficult. Oh, I'm dead.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
So from a design perspective, this boss is obviously incredible. Look at all of the theme of the serpent, and I also heard about the captain of the Fire Knights as being a winged serpent, and you can see, of course, Messmer has wings. Oh. The attacks themselves have a wonderful aesthetic quality to them, despite being ridiculously powerful. My goodness.
In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Thinking again that I might need to burn another Scadu fragment, because we're just... We're doing decent damage, but like...
In the embrace of
not quite a glass cannon, but it feels that way. Really does feel like we shouldn't be... so weak from a damage negation perspective. I was expecting a follow-up hit there that didn't come, so that was a wasted opportunity. Oh, gosh darn it. like a Street Fighter combo. Oh no. I saw that coming. Couldn't dodge it. The music also has hints of Radagon's theme in it as well. That's another interesting thing that I've noticed. So presumably, Messmer is... I don't know if we've learned Messmer's parentage yet, other than Marika. But presumably this is Radagon's child as well? Gosh, after all this, we've still not even been in the second phase yet. So this is not going well.
Those straight in the embrace of gold shall all meet death. In the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Obviously was not intending to be ducked there. Ouch. Can see how you would eventually be able to dodge all of his attacks once you learn his patterns. I'm obviously just going by feel at the moment.
Those embrace of gold shall all meet death.
Not doing very well.
Messmer's flame.
Okay, you know, I'm still agonizing over this whole Scadu Tree fragment thing, but you know, I think it's time to once again bump ourselves up a level in terms of the Scadu Tree level. So let's see. So yeah, we still have quite a few. So we're nowhere near where we could be. So I don't know if that will be any consolation to those who would be annoyed at me for using them, given the fact that we are level 190. Ridiculous. Okay, let's give it another shot. See if that's a bit more reasonable from a damage negation perspective. Very lucky that he missed us there. Ah, we finally dodged that last attack. Now I'm getting sloppy. Case in point. Oh, way too early. second phase.
I will not suffer. A lord devoid of light. No, mother. Forgive me.
Okie dokie then.
Soon tarnished. Wilt thou be taken in the...
Yeah. So looking very reminiscent of Melania.
The abyssal serpent, shorn of light.
Very interesting. Obviously, oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Embrace thine oblivion as...
Oh. Okay, yeah, we didn't last very long there. So, a couple things. So, when I looked at the item description for the winged serpent helm, I should say, the whole idea of the winged helm reminded me of Melania's helmet, and yeah, I didn't verbalize it at the time because, like, you know, you can only point out so many different... This reminds me of this, and this reminds me of this, and, you know, if I did that for every single thing that popped into my head, we'd be here forever. But, yeah, I don't know if that means anything, or if it's just an indication of their familial ties, the tie to Radagon and the red hair, but looked very reminiscent of Melania, and perhaps that's due in part to the fact that even though he was described as abyssal, it looked like he was afflicted with scarlet rot. One other thing, and it's another reason why we don't use these, that we always want to make sure that we have one of each of these, is that I'm realizing we did not look at Leda's rune. Miquella gifted Leda with gentle gold to bring a soft hue to her faded eyes, or maybe we did. I'm seeing Miquella's sort of sigil with the flowers behind the eye shape there. But yeah, Marika's rune, it says that it's a golden remnant of the grace personally bestowed by Queen Marika to the heroes who joined the crusade for her. So including Messmer, evidently. We're also told with these iris items that all sorts of things are placed into eyes. Sort of a more direct and physical approach to that which the greater will uses to impose its vision upon its subjects. And says this artifice was employed by the priests of the Erdtree to intensify the fears of their flock to magnificent effect, and in this case to quell the fears of their flock to magnificent effect. So Messmer was sort of doing that to himself, it seems. And in ripping out his own eye, has sort of embraced his abyssal self. So, not really sure what any of that means, but yeah, those are just some thoughts I was trying to articulate there before we got absolutely obliterated by Mr. Abyssal Messmer. So, yeah, let's get back to getting obliterated. So, in looking at his wings, suddenly the whole bats on the side of the building thing makes sense. They looks almost like they're bat wings. So he's Snake Man and Batman all at once. Oh, almost dodged the whole thing through panic dodges. Not quick enough. Ah, come on.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Okay, that was easily our best attempt yet. And I think it was pretty much entirely down to Rivers of Blood.
I will not suffer.
/ panic dodges. So, a few things.
Devoid of light.
His helmet looks very similar to that of the Captain of the Fire Knights, which makes sense. This statue.
No, Mother. Forgive me.
I've mentioned Marika as being his mother, seemingly. However, the statue depicts a woman holding a baby, and I don't believe we've seen any statue of Marika that looks anything like that. Ouch. And again, we covered this previously. Pulls out the eye with an iris on it, very similar to the one that we found previously. And this turns him into Abyssal Messmer, whatever that means. And with the helmet and everything removed, looks a fair bit like seemingly his sister. And much like Rykard, he's associated with serpents, despite not having been eaten by serpents. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and I assume once we get some item descriptions, we'll be able to learn a bit more.
Wilt thou be taken in the jaws of the abyssal?
See, in his eye, it looks like there's
of light.
another serpent inside of his eye socket. Okay, no idea what you're supposed to do there, other than just panic dodge. Oh, why didn't I heal? Okay, that's cool and frightening.
O lightless creature.
Darn it.
Embrace thine oblivion, as shall I.
So, yeah, we've got a lot of work to do on that second phase. Not to mention the first phase, because we're still not very good at it. Dodged too early there.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame. faithless creature. Embrace thine oblivion, as shall I.
So interesting to note that attack where the entire ground becomes lava, so to speak, in the second phase. It seems as though all of the jar friends in the basement of this place were that they were experimenting on those friends in order to, I don't know, allow Messmer to sort of hone that attack, or I don't know, maybe there's something else going on there. But yeah, it's very reminiscent of the attack that you see the jar friends doing in sort of the basement of the Shadow Keep, whatever that place was called.
Those of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Yes!
Marika, a curse upon thee.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I would ever defeat that boss. Oh, as usual, I need to catch my breath here. Remembrance of the Impaler and Messmer's Kindling. Oh, my heart is beating so fast. I got so greedy there at the end, but I just kept going for it. Oh. Yeah, there's that sigil again. Oh, gosh darn it. I just had a root canal done yesterday. And I was clenching my jaw so hard there, but I didn't feel it until now because of the adrenaline from being in the second phase and, you know, having it go as well as it was going. We still had 4 flasks remaining. Like, it was, ironically, probably not one of the cleaner fights I've had. You will not have seen all of the fights because at a certain point, I figured, you know, there's nothing to be gained by including every single death because it's just going to be so boring. So essentially after the death montage, I just was like, okay, I'll just cut to whatever I think there's 1 or 2 boss attempts in between this one and, I don't know, several days ago. So I couldn't tell you how many times we fought the boss if I wanted to because I have no earthly idea. It's been a while since, yeah. Wow. So yeah, is just so happens, I guess that's just the happenstance of it and RNG and everything, that sometimes it's not your cleanest ones where you happen to actually be successful. It's just, everything just has to align in just the right way. And it did there. Wow, mamma mia. Okay. First thing I should mention, we raised our Scadu blessing, I think, twice since you last saw it. I think the last on screen you would have seen it was at level 6. I raised it to level 8 because, again, just, yeah, I really, and I've mentioned it before, I don't want to repeat myself over and over again, but I'm not a fan of the Scadu blessing thing. I see what they were trying to do, and I can see how it's extremely difficult. There's a lot of problems associated with trying to make it so that it sort of just scales automatically to the player's level. We saw issues with that in Dark Souls 2 with what they tried to do with soul memory, and in Dark Souls 3 with what they tried to do with sort of like the equipment level. So, you know, there's no perfect solution. This is certainly, you know, in keeping with that suggestion, this is certainly an imperfect solution. Let's just leave it at that, I suppose. So yeah, that's where our Scadu blessing is at. I don't know whether that's above or below where other people have been, but whatever. I don't really care at this point anymore. You know, let me say, I enjoyed the boss fight. In spite of how miserable I sound at the moment, I really enjoyed the boss fight. When the boss fight is going well, when you're timing the dodges, when you're doing things right, it's a really fun boss fight. And, you know, even though I think the difficulty level there is probably on par with Malenia in the base game, I found Malenia a lot more difficult to dodge. Whereas, you know, even the serpent attacks, I don't think I did it very well there. There may have been 1 or 2 attempts that you didn't see where I was perfectly in sync with dodging all of the snakes when he does that attack, and wasn't really having all that much trouble with the second phase, but just split-second lapses in concentration where I ended up screwing up a dodge, and then it just snowballed from there, and then I lost it, and it just died. And, you know, so what I will say is, in the overall, I quite enjoyed that boss fight from an aesthetic perspective, the music, the feel of the boss fight, the lore, even though we still obviously have lots to learn, and the just sort of the feel of the boss fight, the dodging, the back and forth. I just think the damage, he's very sort of damage spongy, and, you know, he does a lot of damage to you. And for me, the main sort of problem with that is that everything comes back to this Scadu blessing thing. And I really wish they hadn't done that, and that they had just made it sort of an endgame appropriate level area, and just had everyone be at the same level, because that's what, in my mind, Souls games have always been about. You know, 2 people can play the same boss, fight the same boss, but have more or less the same experience, and there's no real significant difference between the experiences, but maybe that's just me. Messmer's kindling, the kindling that burned inside Messmer the Impaler, a dark thing eaten away at by a wicked serpent, burns the sealing tree said to be found at the old Rauh ruins. Messmer, much like his younger sister, bore a vision of fire. Bore a vision of fire, so who's his younger sister? Again, I should probably know this. My sincerest apologies that nothing comes to mind at the moment, but again, maybe we'll keep reading and I'll be reminded of the obvious. But burns the sealing tree said to be found at the old Rauh ruins. So, my initial assumption when I said a red sealing tree, I assumed that it would be whatever this is that was preventing us from following Miquella, but presumably it's something, yeah, around the Rauh ruins, which I believe is something like here. Or here. Okay. Remembrance of Messmer the Impaler, hewn into the Scadu tree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the finger reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. A malevolent snake writhed within Messmer. You can see it when Messmer takes out his eye. You can see the snake sort of inside, or at least I think that's probably what that was. And so his very mother plucked out his eye and put in its place a seal of grace. Okay, that's interesting. Yet, having done so, her fear compelled her to secret away her child within the realm of shadow, hidden away, keeping company with the original sin, and a hatred that would not be confined. Okie dokes, so the realm of shadow is sort of like the painted worlds in Dark Souls. That's interesting. Of course, there was no painted world in Dark Souls 2, but in Dark Souls 1 and 3, the painted world was where things that were, considered shameful, I guess. I don't remember the exact phrase, how it was put in an item description in Dark Souls 1, but essentially the things the gods didn't want to deal with were confined in the painted world. They were relegated to the painted world. And yeah, very interesting, because Messmer has this, it says that dark thing eaten away at by a wicked serpent, the kindling that burned inside Messmer the Impaler. So the serpent is not him. The serpent is, in fact, like Reichard, a separate being. I'm not entirely clear, although it does say a malevolent snake writhed within Messmer. So no, it's not him. But you can see in the illustration for the remembrance that some wings are growing out of the snake. So I thought the wings were growing out of him, but it was sort of obscured by his armor, or the cape that he had attached to his armor, because you can only see the sort of bat wings poking out. But yeah, the winged serpent, as was put with this item description, or a winged serpent perches atop it. So yeah, it's the same thing here. This is a winged serpent, a serpent with bat wings, oddly enough. Okay, so she was afraid of the malevolent snake that writhed within him, and so exiled him to the realm of shadow as a result, keeping company with the original sin and a hatred that would not be confined. Okay, so there is a lot to unpack there. We're obviously not going to be able to do that now. I'm just sort of trying to cover everything, make sure that we picked out all the important bits before we go back to the Roundtable Hold to see whether there are any other item descriptions that we can read. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Oh, there's someone here. Oh, that's our friend. How have I forgotten his name already? Yeah, it's several days since we actually defeated Messmer. I had to stop right after we defeated him. So yeah, this is the Horn-Scent friend. Okay. I have a memory. It exists somewhere. It just takes a while to access. So, yeah, let's have a rest. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I speak with him first? Oh, Horn-Scent. Why? Why would they? Wow, that is... Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Ah, that's dreadful. Okay, so Horn-Scent was praying to this woman, whom Messmer was also referring to as his mother. So his mother couldn't be Marika. That's not Marika. It couldn't be Marika. At least when we can't get over there. And of course it's veiled in shadow, as you might expect. Oh, I'm so upset we didn't get to speak with Hornsent. Not at the game necessarily, more upset with myself because I should have just spoke with him. There's no reason for us to rest right away without double checking, but yeah, that's such is my silliness. Because obviously we didn't need to rest. He wasn't going to attack us, but yeah. Okie dokie. Let's rest again, see if he comes back. Gosh darn it. Okay, let's head back to the Roundtable Hold. Hi, Enya, friend. Spear of the Impaler, weapon of Messmer the Impaler, a great spear with a warped blade in the shape of undulating flame. Remade by the forging arts of the realm of shadow, this weapon can be thrown by executing a strong attack, dashing strong attack, or mounted strong attack. Charge the attack to produce flame on impact. Unique skill, Messmer's Assault. A fierce succession of attacks using the flame-coated spear tip. Repeated inputs allow up to 2 follow-up attacks. The final move thrusts the spear into the ground, causing countless spears to form in the surrounding area. Messmer's Orb, an incantation of Messmer the Impaler, summons Messmer's flame to form a giant floating orb. The orb soars towards a foe, crashes into the earth, and explodes after a brief delay. Charging enhances potency. Messmer despised his own fire. Time and time again he hoped to rid himself of it, but ever did it burn. Okay, so the fire presumably is the hatred that would not be confined. So he hated his hatred, in other words, because it says he despised his own fire. Unless that is the hatred being referenced. A hatred that would not be confined. Messmer's Helm, black helm of Messmer the Impaler, crowned with 2 intertwined winged serpents. Slightly enhances incantations of Messmer's flame as well as Fire Knight skills. The winged snakes were Messmer's constant companions. They were there when the base serpent was sealed away behind his eye. So indeed, that was the serpent behind his eye. They were there through his eternity of suffering. They will accompany him yet, in his hideous new form, born when he destroyed the grace granted by his mother. They have accepted his fate as much as he. So the hideous new form was when he destroyed his eye. We were obviously witness to that. We're going to pick that up, because that has the potential to be our new helm. Messmer's armor, black armor of Messmer the Impaler, draped with a red cloak bearing his crest embroidered. On his mother's wishes, Messmer made himself a symbol of fear, undertaking the cleansing crusade she desired. Direct thy maledictions, thine ire, and thy grief towards me alone. I don't know why his mother sounds like my deep grovelly voice, but direct thy maledictions, thine ire, and thy grief towards me alone. So his mother wanted him to direct his anger towards her and her alone, which is very interesting. So I mentioned that Marika was probably his mother, but I'm reminded of the fact that, as several people pointed out in comments in my on my video essay, that just because someone is a demigod doesn't mean that Marika was necessarily their mother. They would become a demigod by virtue of, Marika becoming their stepmother. So, I was questioning whether that person was Marika and saying that statue doesn't look like any way we've seen Marika depicted, and I suppose it could still be her, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Mother. Marika.
Messmer's gauntlets, black gauntlets of Messmer the Impaler, on his mother's wishes. Okay, so it's the same description. And the same description for the leggings. Okay, so we didn't really learn as much as I was hoping we would. But obviously there's still plenty of DLC left to come. So, you know, we weren't going to unlock all the secrets of Messmer in this episode, certainly. Certainly not right after defeating him and still having, I don't know, probably 3/4 of the DLC still to come. So in the next episode, I have no idea where we're going to be headed. Obviously, you know, now that we have Messmer's Flame, we can proceed to the Rauh ruins and burn whatever it is, but we still have that valley to complete underneath the ruins proper, as well as this whole area here and the low-lying area that's over here. So I don't think we're going to proceed to the Rauh ruins just yet. I'd like to exhaust some other possibilities before we do that, but that's for us to figure out in the next episode. But for now, thank you all very, very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.